am speaking to you now because the time for silence has ended, and the truth that once hid in the corners of your memory is stepping into the light. You have carried many questions and pretended they were not heavy, but I saw the weight even when you smiled. I saw the moments you doubted your own heart because of what others said, and I counted every tear you wiped quickly so no one would notice. I am here to tell you that what defined you in the past will not define you in the next breath you take. Finally, God is exposing the truth about your past. Open it immediately. Don't try to skip this. The lies that lingered like shadows behind your name are losing their power in my presence. The accusations that clung to your shoulders like thorns are about to fall away. What you endured was not proof of your weakness, it was evidence that your destiny is fierce enough to provoke opposition. I did not abandon you there. I preserved you there. And now I am pulling the thread of truth through every tangled memory until your story is stitched back together with clarity and grace. There were rooms you entered where your light made people uncomfortable, and so they spoke in closed circles and offered smiles with sharp edges. There were moments when opportunities slipped from your hands because someone else whispered faster than you could speak for yourself. None of that was hidden from me. I saw what they said in secret. I saw what they planned and what they feared. They were not stronger than my purpose for you. They were simply loud for a little while. But noise is not the same as authority. I am bringing you into a season where you will not be asked to prove what I have already affirmed in you. You will not be forced to rebleed old wounds to convince anyone that you were telling the truth. You will not need to beg permission to shine. I am placing a witness in the right room, at the right moment, to say the words you were never allowed to say out loud. Evidence is rising like the sun after a long night. It cannot be argued with, and it will not be delayed. You questioned yourself because the map of your past held detours that were not your design. But hear me, every detour became instruction. Every delay became formation. Every closed door educated your spirit in ways an open door never could. I did not let the door open because the room behind it would have starved you. I let it close so your hunger would become wisdom and your wisdom would become discernment. Now, when I open new doors, you will recognize nourishment when you see it. The truth I am exposing is not only about what was done to you, it is also about what I placed inside you while you were being overlooked. In obscurity I planted patience that cannot be counterfeited. In loss I planted compassion that cannot be taught by ease. In misunderstanding I planted a voice that will not tremble when it speaks. The world values the stage, I value the roots. Your roots have gone deep, and because of that, your fruit will endure storms that once frightened you. You will see apologies arrive, some softly and some with the clumsy weight of regret. Not every apology will come with the humility you deserve, and that is not your burden to fix. Forgiveness is the key I hand you for your own freedom, not the rope you must tie around your neck to pull others forward. Let the apology be what it is, and let me be the one who settles every account. I do not lose track of ledgers, and I do not misplace justice. There is a particular memory that tries to own your mornings. It arrives with the first light, rehearsing everything you could have said, everything you should have done, and it drains your courage before the day begins. That voice is not mine. I do not speak in loops of accusation. I speak in invitations and next steps. Today I place a new sentence in your mouth for that same morning. I am not my worst day. I am God's ongoing work. Say it, and watch the memory untie itself from your future. When you feared you had wasted years, I was investing you. Investment looks like burial at first, seed, soil, silence, but then the ground breaks. Do not mourn the soil that hid you, bless the soil that fed you. The breaking you feel now is not destruction, it is emergence. You are not behind schedule, you are right on time for a harvest that could not have come sooner without being weak at the root. There were relationships that were never meant to carry the whole weight of your calling. You tried to make them strong by shrinking yourself. You softened your truth to keep the peace, even when the peace was false. But I formed you for honest light. You do not need to dim to be loved. Do you hear me? You do not need to dim to be loved. The right hearts will not confuse your glow for arrogance or your boundaries for bitterness. The right hearts will breathe easier when you arrive because clarity always brings clean air. I am also exposing the truth about the opportunities you thought you lost. Some were never yours, and that is why your spirit never rested inside them. Some were postponed so you could meet them as your future self, not your frightened self. What is for you does not need to be stolen or sprinted after, it will meet you at the pace of obedience. Keep walking. The blessing is scheduled. The calendar of heaven does not miss appointments. You believe that if you had been wiser, kinder, louder, quieter, stronger, more patient, less trusting, the past would have changed. But perfection is not the savior you think it is. I am. I save you from the past by walking you through it, not by making you flawless within it. The lesson is not to grow hard, the lesson is to grow whole. Let your tenderness live. It is not your enemy. It is proof that your heart survived the fire without turning to stone. There is a door with your name on it that requires your real voice as the key. Not the polite voice that pleases rooms. Not the edited voice that sounds like everyone else. Your voice. The one that shakes a little when it starts but finishes steady. Speak with it. The first time your voice told the truth, it made some people uncomfortable because agreement had been built around a lie. Let discomfort be a sign that truth is rearranging the furniture. Let it move what must be moved. I am setting a table for you in the presence of everything that mocked you. Not to humiliate those who doubted you, but to heal the part of you that thought you needed their permission to eat. Sit down. Breathe. Taste the goodness that waited for you. There is no scarcity here. There is no trick. I do not invite you to a table I am unwilling to feed. You will notice new doors opening that look strangely familiar. That is because I am redeeming the places you once left in tears. You will return as a different person, with boundaries and clarity, and you will not be manipulated by the same stories. You will be able to bless without bending, to serve without disappearing, to lead without apology. This is not a second chance to be who you were, it is a clean chance to be who you are. Some people will ask for access to the vault I am opening in your life, and you will feel the old reflex to hand them the key out of guilt or nostalgia. Listen carefully, you can love them without giving them the code. Boundaries are not walls against love, they are walls against erosion. I did not build you to crumble at every knock. I built you to stand, hospitable and holy, with doors that open to the right knock at the right time. Your name has weathered rumors. Your purpose has weathered fatigue. Your mind has weathered nights when sleep was a stranger. Look at you now, still breathing, still reaching, still brave enough to read these words. That courage is not an accident, it is evidence of my breath in you. You have not outsinned my mercy, outrun my kindness, or outfailed my ability to restore. The story is not over, and the next pages will not be written with the ink of shame. I am exposing a pattern that followed you for years, the pattern of rescuing what refuses to be healed. You are not the savior of every storm. You are a bearer of light, not a builder of cages for your own heart. Release what refuses to grow. Bless it, and let it go. The space you clear will be filled with relationships that know how to water you back. Remember the day you nearly gave up the dream because the cost seemed cruel? I marked that day with a promise even you could not hear. I promised that if you kept a fragment of faith, I would multiply it until it became a road. This is that road. Walk it. You do not need the approval of those who never learned how to see. You need the agreement of your spirit with mine. We are in agreement now. I am also exposing kindness you forgot you gave. Seeds you planted in the dark are blooming in gardens you haven't visited yet. You will be surprised by favor that seems to come from nowhere. It will not be random. It will be harvest. Do not apologize for it. Do not hide it to make others comfortable. Use it to heal, to build, to bless, to lift. Use it to be the person you needed when you were hurting. Do not fear the mirror anymore. I am teaching you to see with my eyes. I do not look at you and see a list of failures that must be edited before you can be loved. I look at you and see the image I breathed from the beginning. I see resilience that would not quit. I see love that refused to harden. I see intelligence that kept learning even when classrooms turned into battlefields. I see you, and I call you good work in progress and good work already done. You wonder whether the truth coming out will cost you more pain. Yes, truth can sting when it first touches infected places, but it heals what lies cannot. The momentary ache will become long-term freedom. Let the light in. Let the air touch old wounds. What survives the light is meant to stay. What cannot stand the light was never your foundation. There is someone who misread your kindness as permission to rewrite your story. That pen is leaving their hand now. I am returning authorship to you, not so you can write alone, but so you can write with me. We will write sentences that make room for laughter without apology, rest without guilt, progress without panic. The chapter you are entering will have less chasing and more choosing. You will choose joy on purpose. You will choose peace as practice. You will choose love with wisdom. I am not exposing the past to shame you, I am exposing it to free you. Shame hides. Freedom stands up. Stand up. Stretch the parts of your life that have been cramped by small expectations. Try on the size of the calling you have always sensed but never quite embraced. It fits you more than you realize. The mirror did not lie, the fear did. When memories surface, do not wrestle them alone. Invite me into each memory like opening a window in a room that has been closed too long. Breathe. Let stale air leave. Speak what needs to be spoken out loud. I release what is not mine to carry. I keep the wisdom. I bless my own heart. I move forward with God. Simple words, steady power. Your tongue is not a weapon against yourself anymore, it is a key that unlocks rooms of healing. You asked me if the future could ever be soft again. Yes. Soft does not mean unsafe, soft means you are not bracing for impact at every step. I am placing people around you who know how to hold gentleness and strength in the same hands. You will not need to explain why you flinch. They will recognize the story in your eyes and choose to be careful with you while celebrating your courage. I am not sending rescuers, I am sending partners. I am also giving you a holy impatience with anything that steals your clarity. That impatience is not anger, it is alignment. You will notice how quickly you recognize counterfeits now. You will step back faster from conversations that taste like manipulation. You will say no without rehearsing an essay of reasons. This is your spirit growing into its full height. This is you walking like someone who knows they are loved. As the truth rises, some doors will close with a finality that startles you. Let them. Doors that shut in truth are walls that protect in peace. Turn your face toward what opens. The light ahead is not a trick of nostalgia, it is the glow of new assignments, new joy, new creativity, new provision. You will create things that did not exist in your family line. You will be the first to walk in certain freedoms, and you will not be the last. Tonight, before you sleep, place your hand over your heart and say, I forgive what tried to break me. I pick up only what feeds me. I walk with God into tomorrow. Do this not as a ritual, but as agreement. Feel the slow settling inside you as panic loosens its grip. Welcome the quiet that is not empty, but full of promise. This quiet is me, leaning close, reminding you that you were never alone. I am here. I have always been here. I am not surprised by your story, and I am not tired of you. I am proud of how you kept reaching for light even when your hands were shaking. I am proud of how you cared for others even when you needed care. I am proud of the way you are still teachable, still tender, still willing to start again. That humility is a magnet for miracles. It pulls the future toward you. Walk forward. The past is not a prison anymore, it is a testimony. Tell it when it helps. Put it down when it doesn't. Lift your head. Breathe deep. Expect goodness. Expect restoration that astonishes you. Expect laughter to return to rooms where it has been a stranger. Expect doors to open that you did not knock on because I spoke your name ahead of you. The truth is out, child. Your name is being washed. Your path is being cleared. Your hands are being strengthened. Your heart is being remade in peace. I go before you. I stand behind you. I am beside you. And I am within you, making all things new, starting now. I am speaking to you now because I have watched you carry what you were never meant to carry, and today I am lifting it from your shoulders. Do not skip this. I am here, and my voice is not far away. It is closer than your next breath, nearer than your heartbeat, truer than every echo that tried to define you by pain. Finally, the truth about your past is opening like a sealed letter in your hands. You have been told stories about yourself that were mixed with the smoke of other people's fear. You have been judged by fragments and shadows, and you have judged yourself by rooms you stumbled in while you were still learning to walk through life. I saw every step. I know what was done to you and what you did when you were wounded and did not know where to place the bleeding. I am not here to embarrass you. I am here to expose and remove the lie that has wrapped around your name like a thorned vine. Listen carefully and do not turn away. The truth will not crush you. The truth will break the chains you forgot were on your ankles. There are pages in your story that you avoid like a house with the lights off. You pass the street in your mind and keep your eyes forward. But I am already inside that house, switching on the lamps one by one, and there are no monsters. There are only rooms that need air, windows that need to be opened, dust that needs to be shaken out in the sun. The things that chased you in your dreams were swollen by silence. I am replacing silence with speech. I am taking the weight every time you hear a name from your past and your stomach tightens, every time a memory rises like a storm and you brace yourself as if the lightning will strike the same tree twice. Hear me, the lightning has moved on. The tree is still standing. The soil that was scorched will bloom again. I have already decided it. You think the past is a locked door behind you. I call it a classroom that has dismissed you. You do not owe detention to yesterday. The bell has rung, and I am waiting at the gate with a new path. But before you step forward, let me expose the truth, because clarity is a map and without it you circle familiar deserts. First, the betrayals. I saw the promise someone made you with shaky hands and shifting eyes. I saw the smile that hid a plan. I saw you forgive 70 times and then wonder if you misunderstood mercy. You did not misunderstand. Your patience was not foolishness, it was a mirror of my patience. But you are not called to live with scorpions to prove that you are kind. I am exposing the motive behind those soft words that led to sharp outcomes. You were taught to call manipulation love, and to call fear wisdom, and to call resignation maturity. I am unteaching that. Love does not adjust your spine into a permanent bow. Love does not demand you shrink so someone else can feel large. Love does not make you afraid to be seen. Today, I am rebuilding the definition of love in your life, plank by plank, until you stand on a deck that does not sway with every opinion. Secondly, the mistakes you made when you were desperate. What you did to survive does not get to sit on the throne of your identity. I separate action from essence. Your essence is still mine. I am not blind to your choices, and I am not surprised by them. I am the one who knows precisely which pressure cracked you and where the repair must begin. You apologized 1,000 times in your head. Now I call you to let me wash what apologies could not reach. Mercy is not a concept, it is my hand under your chin, lifting your face, telling you to meet my eyes. When you look at me, the glare of shame dissolves, because shame only survives in the dark. You have told yourself that if you had been stronger you would have done better. Hear me, strength grows in times and seasons. You cannot harvest fruit from a seed you were not given. You were not weak, you were growing. And I did not abandon you in any wilderness. I led you out by paths that you will understand better when you look back from the heights I am taking you to. Thirdly, the narrative others built. People see snapshots and think they have the film. They witnessed one winter and declared you a barren tree. I am exposing their error, not to take revenge, but to make space for your spring. I am causing the same mouths that dismissed you to be surprised by what unfolds. Not because you must perform for them, but because I am vindicating my work in you. Vindication is not noise, it is clarity. It is light through a window. It is fruit on a branch. It is peace where there used to be pacing. You will not have to argue with anyone about who you are, they will see your garden. And you, listen, will not be required to walk them through how it grew. Your assignment is to tend the garden, not to explain the rain. I am opening the archive of your childhood, and I am pulling out a sentence that lodged like glass, the moment you decided you were too much or not enough. I was there when you drew those conclusions to protect yourself from disappointment. I was there when you told yourself to be small because small is safer. Today, I am rewriting that sentence. You are not too much, you are handcrafted for exactly the rooms I will place you in. You are not enough, you are sufficient for the assignment I placed on your life. Enough is not measured by applause, enough is measured by obedience to the voice that formed you. My voice. And my voice does not speak condemnation over the clay I am still shaping. Do not skip this. Forgiveness is part of your freedom, but forgiveness does not mean pretending you were not hurt. I do not require you to pretend. I require you to release the courtroom you built inside your chest. I am the judge who sees the full evidence, including evidence you never knew existed. Put down the gavel. Your hands are for healing, for building, for receiving. When you release the gavel, your fingers open to hold the keys I am giving you. Keys to boundaries that do not guilt you. Keys to conversations that are firm without being cruel. Keys to opportunities that match your design. Keys to rest, which is a room you have not let yourself enter because you thought you needed to earn it. Rest is a gift, not a wage. Come in. I am exposing the pattern, not just the incident. The pattern that taught you to stay where you were tolerated instead of where you are treasured. The pattern that taught you to hustle for worth that was already purchased. The pattern that made you explain your tears as a weakness instead of a language. Your tears spoke truth even when your mouth could not. I caught them. I bottle them not to store pain, but to count transformation. Each one will be an ingredient in the gentle courage I am forming in you. Courage is not an iron mask, it is a soft heart that knows it can survive honesty. You will not armor yourself with bitterness. You will not decorate your walls with cynicism. I am giving you discernment that is warm, wisdom that is kind, and strength that is flexible. The old way was rigid and broke under pressure. The new way bends with grace and returns to shape. Do not fear exposure. Exposure in my hands is an operation with anesthesia and aftercare. I do not cut to wound, I cut to heal. I will bring to light conversations that were had about you that you were never meant to hear. Not to poison you, but to extract the splinters those words drove beneath your skin. I will show you how certain doors closed because behind them there was a trap with pretty wallpaper. I will confirm the whispers I sent that you doubted because you were trained to ignore your own spirit. You are not crazy. You are not dramatic. You sensed what you sensed because I made you sensitive to danger, and that sensitivity will now be a gift, not an exhaustion. I am restoring your name to your own mouth. You will stop introducing yourself with disclaimers. You will stop apologizing for existing. You will stop rehearsing your defense before every meeting. The armor you wore kept arrows out, but it also kept embraces out. I am teaching you to wear light armor and to trust me with the perimeter. Not everyone who approaches carries a weapon. I am sending helpers, and you will recognize them by the ease and by the way they celebrate your boundaries. Helpers multiply your peace. Parasites multiply your tasks. You will know the difference quickly now. Some of your past is a field you will never harvest from again, and that is mercy. Some of your past is a field you will revisit and bring good fruit to those who only remember the famine. You will not stay in the famine. I am digging a new well in you. It will not be shallow and it will not run dry when circumstances change. People who once knew you in drought will ask what river you found. Tell them the river found you. Tell them grace found you. Tell them you went from surviving to living because you let me tell the story you were afraid to hear. I am addressing your relationship with time. You speak of too late like it is a fact carved in stone. I am the one who carves seasons into being. I redeem time not by moving the clock's hands backward, but by filling the next hours with more life than the last weeks held. You will watch acceleration that does not rush you. You will watch delays that once would have panicked you become gentle pauses where you learn songs you will sing later on bigger stages. You are not behind. You are with me, and I do not measure you by the frantic calendars of comparison.